So this next segment is going to be kind of like a this or that. It's going to be called Contenders or Pretenders. I'm going to throw out a couple of names, and you guys will let me know either contender or pretender. Just give me a few quick thoughts, and then we'll move on to the next person, get their thoughts, and we'll just keep it going like that. So for clip purposes, we are going to do Contenders or Pretenders 2 weeks into the NBA season. First team, the New York Knicks.
Yeah,
I'll say contenders. I
I'll say
think
pretenders.
ooh,
Give us something. Let me hear why.
Oh, I say the pretenders because I am not sold on their Mikal Bridges, Brunson, Cat, and
OG.
OG. I'm not like sold they could get it done. I think they could probably do it this year, but like I'm thinking next year, the following year. I just don't think that they can. Um and if they can actually, because sometimes I feel like the Knicks play down to the other team's level. So if they play like a Bulls, they're like, like we could beat the Bulls, and then they play down to the Bulls level, and before you know it's a game 7. Like when it didn't need to be a game 7.
Mhm.
So I don't think they're that disciplined as well, but so that's why I'm gonna put them in the pretenders. But they're real close to contenders.
All right, Toddy, why are they contenders?
I think they're contenders because I've seen Jalen Brunson do inhumane things in the playoffs. Step back after step back, game winner after game winner. Just the clutch factor. I do think they're trying to adjust to Mike Brown's system. Obviously, we're not even 10 games in yet. We keep mentioning that it's only week 2 of the NBA season. So I think they're just trying to adjust to his play style. And, I don't have to play 80 minutes a game. So I just think that they're just trying to figure out their bench, their scoring, obviously, and those 4 guys who are all making a lot of money. If this shit don't work out now,
They in trouble.
yeah. So
And they
I
gave
think,
all their draft picks from McHale.
yeah.
Oh my
So I
gosh,
think
what was
if
it,
it doesn't
5?
work out now, it's people's heads will roll. So I'm still say contenders. I still think it's early. I've seen Jalen Brunson do too much in the playoffs.
But they
I'm
need
gonna go
to
for
win multiple though. For me, like for what they gave up, they have to win more than one.
yeah, but I
At
mean, hey,
minimum
winning
two.
cures all. You win one,
Yeah.
you're good.
No,
Oh,
Everyone's
New
saying
York.
everyone
not
got a
enough for
job.
what they gave up for every piece. Like 5 for Mikkel, I'm gonna need at least 2 rings.
Next team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Contenders or pretenders? I'm gonna go pretenders. I
I
think we've seen this team play its best basketball. It's gonna take a heroic effort for them to become a contender in the Western Conference because you have guys like the Joker, you guys have guys like SGA, and we've seen that they can't get over that hump. They couldn't even beat Dallas with Luca, so it's a lot in front of them, and for them to become a contender, they're gonna have to get over that hump, and Anthony Edwards gonna have to take an MVP like jump. Um, this would be the perfect team to say the middle. But because I got to pick a side, they got to go on pretenders. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say contenders. Only because they have shown at least they could get to the Western Conference Finals and they could play those hard teams. And Ant just has to step up in the Western Conference Finals. I feel like once they get to the Western Conference Finals, they're like, all right,
We
because
did
they
it.
could have easily beat the Mavericks and went to the finals that year, whatever year that was. But I feel like maybe this is Ant's first full summer off. He's recuperated. He's gotten himself back in better shape, mentally, physically, things of that nature. And because of that, I do think they could get over that hump because they could beat a team like Denver. I should right? Even though they got new pieces, I think they could beat a team like OKC. Like I truly do believe that. They just gotta get to the finals, and at least they've shown that they could do it. The Knicks have never,
The
or
Knicks went
maybe
to the
that one
ECF.
year,
Yeah,
2 years ago, a year
last
ago.
year.
Oh, it was last year. Oh shit, I forgot. But yeah, I feel like they could do it.
Toddy, contenders or pretenders? Minnesota Timberwolves.
Uh, I don't know if Minnesota's team is good enough. I'm gonna say pretenders. I think Anna's phenomenal, one of the best players in the league. I just think after last year, they didn't really do anything that made their team better. They were like, oh, well, we got that. That's going to do it for us, right? Julius Randle had a pretty solid playoffs, and it was remarkable. I think it was remarkable what Anthony Edwards was doing in those past 2 years, and that's why everybody was saying, he's Michael Jordan, he's this, he's that, and blah, blah, blah. He's Kobe Bryant. People were just coming out saying a lot of outlandish things because what he was doing, the team that he was carrying to the Western Conference Finals, I don't know how good their team is without Anthony Edwards. I would like to see Minnesota try and realize, hey, this is one of the best players in the league. Let's try and make the team better around him. But, I mean, they had Karl Anthony Towns, but he wasn't really playing that well in the playoffs. It was really Ant doing everything. And last year, Julius was okay for them in the playoffs, or I wouldn't say okay in the playoffs. I think he was okay in the Western Conference Finals. But that just was a testament to how good that OKC's defense was. But I do think Ant needs probably another star next to him for them to be able to take a leap. And kind of, they hit the wall at the West. They get to the Western Conference Finals. They get there.
Alex said,
they need that extra to get over the hump and get to the finals, and whatever happens, fair game from then on. So I'll say Pretenders.
Next name, contender or pretenders? The San Antonio Spurs.
I'm gonna say
Pretenders.
Ugh.
Go ahead, Todd. The floor is yours.
I think they're pretenders. Now
You don't sound too confident in that.
I think Wemby is taking the leap into that. I'm top 5. I'm one of the best players in the league. It doesn't matter who's in my way. I'm gonna do what I need to do. But I do think the West as a whole, OKC, Houston, there's Lakers, Minnesota. I mean, I just think their team was ass the last 2 years. And it's like, all right, we added, and D Harp, who we'll talk about, and De'Aaron Fox is going to make his debut tomorrow, I believe. Mm-hmm. We got to see a little bit more. I get Wemby is entering the alien stage, and he's going to be one of the best players that we'll ever see when the time comes to it. But we got to see it more. Like I said, he hasn't really played winning basketball the last 2 years. And I feel like that's building him up to what he is going to be. But I don't know if they'll be ready to win a championship right now today. But if the season goes along and he's able to kind of, lead them to a lot more victories, then the tune might change a little bit. But right now, I will say Pretenders.
Alex, you were quick to say Pretenders. Let us know why.
I just think they're a little too young. They don't have enough experience going up against this very stacked West. I think this is the best Western Conference I've seen in my entire life. It's already a bloodbath. We all know this, but even more so. And I don't think they have enough experience to get through the Jokic and the Nuggets or Shea and OKC. So I think they could get there. I just think they need a little bit more experience. But yeah, kind of seconding what Toddy said about Wemby. He's going a little insane for me. I'm not really ready for him to take this league by storm because I am pretty scared for what's going to happen in 2028 for the Olympics. But he could do whatever he wants to do.
I'm going to go contender because they have looked great without De'Aaron Fox. And that shows a lot. You guys got like Dylan Harper, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle. There are a lot of young guys, and I heard you guys kept saying they don't have the experience. On this exact podcast 2 seasons ago, we said the same thing about the Thunder. They didn't have the experience. They got to if they get in the dance, this team could win a championship. Because
this might be, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
This might be the year that when OKC lost to
the Mavericks.
Yes,
that's what I feel
that's
like
what I was about to say.
With them this year. And
then
they
learned a lot.
They'll taste it and they'll be like, "Oh, okay,
exactly.
I'm ready now." So
I just feel like because the East is more big dominant, but the West is mostly guard dominant. So when you get to that playoff level as a guard, the gameplay jumps up to another level. The Luka Doncic's, the SGAs, even Jamal Murray. He's not the same guy in the playoffs as he is in the regular season. But as far as a big standpoint goes, there's not another big in the West like Victor Wembanyama. And the way he's playing, the big man has to come out there and guard him. They're playing lineups with your guys' old guy, Luke Cornett, and Twin Towers. I
French
think
vanilla. That's what they call him.
That's what they call him, French vanilla.
Yeah.
I think this team could be a contender. This is another team like the Timberwolves. Like if there was just a middle period, like a middle ground, I felt all three of us would stand on the middle ground a lot more. But because we have to pick a side, I'm going to go contenders. The next name, we're going to stay in the state of Texas, the Houston Rockets. I'm going to go first. You guys know what I'm going to say, and it starts with a P. Pretenders. Kevin Durant ain't won a playoff series in a long time. Last time he won a playoff series, I was studying in school.
He was this close.
You know?
This
just
close.
that close, but that close away.
Bro.
This team needs a point guard. Toddy and I were big on the Reed Shepherd jump, him coming in and really being able to play this role. But before Reed Shepherd went down, it was Fred VanVleet. We were really hoping that Fred VanVleet was going to be able to double down on his playoff experience and give this team what they needed. They have Amen Thompson that's ready to go. They have Alfred Sengun who's ready to go, Jabari Smith. They have the guys. They have Kevin Durant. But I feel like when you don't have a point guard, we just talked about it with the Timberwolves, the guard level steps up in the West. And if you're struggling in the regular season, I feel like you're going to struggle in the playoffs. So I'm going to go Pretenders. Alex, we know that's your favorite player, so go ahead and say that C word.
Contenders. Kevin Durant is the greatest player of all time, in my opinion, and I think he could get the job done. I understand he was this close from going to the NBA Finals, but he literally dragged that team from the depths of the valley and to a phenomenal Bucks team that ended up eventually winning the championship. He was this close. He played almost every single minute and dragged that team to almost victory. And for that is a contender right there. I've been watching a little bit of the Rockets this year. Definitely point guard issues. I think Amen Thompson is definitely stepping up. I think that's going to be my candidate for MIP, probably. Sengun's looking crazy. What do you mean he has like hezzy behind the back? Little undisciplined with his shot selections and his passing. But I think as the season goes on, he's going to start noticing a little bit more openings and how to get the ball quicker to his teammates. However, contenders. There's no other answer for that. It's Kevin Durant. He will will his team to victory.
You talked about this team in the opening segment, so we have to get them next. The 76ers.
Contenders.
Go ahead and tell us.
I am a huge Joel Embiid fan. I used to be a huge Ben Simmons fan. Obviously, that did not tune out. So I have a Phillies jersey that I just replaced the 5 with a 1. Called it a year. I think if everyone is healthy, including Paul George, who I kind of forgot, kind of written off, because the team has been really good without him, that if everyone is healthy, the West or the East being the way that it is, they could it's an easy sale. Easily could go by the Knicks, easily could go by the Cavs. They could get it done. They just have to be healthy. And I'm adding Joel Embiid. Paul George, but Joel Embiid can be healthy. This team is phenomenal. And I really like how they constructed the team. I like the coaching staff. I think everything is going to work out. So, contenders.
If Joel Embiid and Paul George are not part of this team, I would say contenders because we've been able to see Tyrese Maxey take this jump. We talked about him being one of those 30-point scorers in the league. So we can see what he is. We see VJ Eshkom. We see what these guys are without these other ball-dominant players. So when these ball-dominant players come back, what does it look like? Does VJ Eshkom look the way he does when Jared McCain's on the court? There's still a lot of missing pieces that will play into this. So I'm gonna have to say pretender right now, but you never know what they could turn out to be. It depends on what they look like with Paul George and Joel Embiid.
Can you ever agree with me?
We haven't agreed once. You're right.
Yeah, goodness.
We'll agree on this. We'll agree on this next one. So, Toddy, scoot up a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. So the last team for contenders or pretenders. All roads lead back to the Bay. The Golden State Warriors.
Contenders.
Go ahead.
Contenders. It's Steph Curry. Same thing with the Rockets with KD. Same thing with Luka in the Lakers and Shea with OKC. Like, if you have that type of player on your team, I cannot count out the Warriors. I just can't. I can't count out Steph Curry. He could have 7 points at halftime, and then by the end of the game, he could have 47. So, and he could get hit the last 4 3-pointers to take the lead in the fourth quarter. The first lead ever in the fourth quarter, and then that's it. Wrap it up. So,
yeah, contenders or pretenders. Golden State Warriors.
I will agree with Alex.
Thank you.
It is Stephen Curry. I think that he is just one of those guys that if you get him in a series, I mean, we even saw last year in the playoffs when Steph Curry went out with injury, the series was pretty much over after that. And so we were just like, all right, Steph's coming back, right? Well, if they get to game 6, if they get to game 7, and things like of that nature. And I think Jimmy Butler, too, when he's in a playoff setting, he's usually takes it up a notch. I mean, we've all seen what playoff Jimmy was in Miami. Obviously, the meme of him just hunched over because he's been doing everything is a testament of what he can be during a playoff setting. And I do think when you add the element of Steph Curry on that same team as well, I do think the Warriors can be dangerous come playoff time. I don't know if anybody wants to play the Warriors.
That experience.
They might not be a top 3 seed. They might be like a 5-6 maybe.
Like
and 6. We'll see. People will be like, "Oh, the Warriors." I mean, even last year when it was a 2-7 matchup with Houston, and I was one of those guys that I thought Houston would win. Experience matters. You're playing against one of the best point guards in the history. I don't know if anybody would want to be matched up against the Warriors during a first round setting. I can't even remember the last time the Warriors lost in the first round of a playoff series. I think it probably was when Mark Jackson was the coach and they had lost to Denver the year before that year, and then Mark Jackson got fired. They hired Steve Kerr. I think the rest was history. So Kev could probably look that up. Last time that Steph Curry lost
probably to like the Spurs or it was probably a long time.
Not sometimes they lost to the Clippers too. I remember those games back
those
then.
Those I think it was that was around the same time I think when Mark Jackson was still the coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was.
So Alex, you said we never agree, and now we agree. You guys said it all. A full season of Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry. You can't count them out. So they have to be a contender. They're never going to fall into this pretenders category.